Most people over 60 are told the same thing about heavy, tired legs. Just keep walking. It sounds sensible. It sounds safe. But here is what nobody tells you. Walking alone does not protect the circulation that keeps you standing, steady, and living in your own home. If your legs feel like they are filled with wet sand by the afternoon, more walking on a poor delivery system is not the answer. The delivery system itself is what needs rebuilding. Here is something orthopedic and vascular clinics see every single day. Older adults come in convinced their heavy legs are simply age, or simply the heart, when very often the real trouble is sluggish blood flow through vessels that have grown stiff and narrow. It is common, it is quiet, and it is far more changeable than most people believe. That is the part almost nobody explains in a short visit. So today, I am going to give you 5 specific foods that help rebuild circulation in your legs. And I am going to give you the one insight about blood flow that most appointments never have time to cover. The number one food on this list is something almost nobody talks about in connection with your legs. Stay with me until the end, because that one can change how you approach the next 10 years of walking, standing, and staying independent. Let me tell you why standard care keeps missing this. A typical appointment runs about 12 minutes. In that window, your doctor has to review your medications, check your pressure, and address whatever brought you in. There is almost no time left for the slow, unglamorous work of prevention. Heavy legs rarely feel like an emergency, so they get waved away with keep moving, and we will watch it. Circulation is treated as something to monitor, not something to actively rebuild through what you put on your plate. I am not here to sell you a supplement or scare you into a course. This channel exists to give you the science a 12-minute appointment never has time to cover. No hype, no miracle powders. Just the mechanisms and the food. And the stakes here are not small. When circulation in your legs fades, standing up from a chair gets harder. Climbing the 3 steps to your front door gets harder. The independence you have spent a lifetime earning starts to feel negotiable. That is what we are protecting. So tell me in the comments right now, what is your age and what time of day do your legs feel heaviest? Morning or evening? Now please do not skip this next part. It is the key to everything that follows. Here is the one mechanism behind heavy legs. Blood travels down to your feet easily because gravity helps. Getting it back up to your heart is the hard part, and that return journey depends on healthy vessel walls and steady flow. Think of your circulation like a river delivery system running through your legs. When the channels are wide, smooth, and lined well, the water moves freely and nothing pools. But when the lining grows stiff and the channels narrow, the current slows and water backs up in the lowlands, which are your calves and ankles. That pooling is the heaviness you feel. The foods on this list work by keeping those channels smooth, flexible, and open so the river keeps moving. If this is already making sense to you, tap the like button so more seniors can find it. Number 5 on our list is beetroot. Not a category, not vague red vegetables. Beetroot, the deep purple root you can roast, grate raw, or drink as juice. Here is why it matters for your legs. Beetroot is unusually rich in natural nitrates. Your body converts those nitrates into a molecule called nitric oxide, and nitric oxide is the signal that tells your blood vessels to relax and widen. Go back to our river. Nitric oxide is the hand that opens the floodgates a little wider, so more current flows through with less pressure. When those channels open, blood reaches your calves and feet more freely, and the heavy, tight feeling begins to ease. Large clinical trials have consistently shown that dietary nitrates from beetroot can support healthier blood flow and gentler blood pressure. This is well-established science, not a fringe claim. So here is the protocol. With real numbers, aim for 1 cup of cooked beetroot or 1 small glass of beetroot juice, which is about 8 ounces, roughly 3 to 4 times a week. If you choose juice, dilute it with water at first, half and half, because it is strong. Start with that half glass for the first week so your stomach adjusts. Then build to the full serving. The common mistake people make is drinking a large glass on day 1, feeling their stomach turn, and quitting. Slow and steady wins this, and do not be alarmed if it colors the bathroom afterward. That is harmless and expected. Now, the senior safe modification. If you have a history of kidney stones, beetroot is high in oxalates, so keep to the smaller portion and check with your doctor first. If you take blood pressure medication, this is important. Beetroot can gently lower pressure, so talk to your doctor before adding it daily, because your dose may need watching. If you ever feel lightheaded when standing, that is your stop signal. Sit back down and mention it at your next visit. Pair beetroot with a source of vitamin C, like a few slices of orange or red pepper, because vitamin C helps your body hold on to nitric oxide longer. The two together do more than either alone. But beetroot mainly opens the channels you already have. It does very little for the actual strength and flexibility of the vessel walls themselves. For that, we need something that repairs the lining, which brings us to number 4. Number 4 is fatty fish, specifically salmon, mackerel, or sardines. Here is the mechanism. These fish are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, the raw material your body uses to keep blood vessel walls smooth, flexible, and less inflamed. Picture the inside of your river channel. Over the years, the lining can grow rough and inflamed, and rough channels slow the current and catch debris. Omega-3s are like a crew resurfacing that lining, keeping it slick so blood glides instead of dragging. Smoother walls mean freer flow all the way down to your toes. Decades of large clinical research have consistently linked omega-3 rich fish with healthier circulation and a healthier heart. This is one of the most reliable findings in all of nutrition science. Here's your protocol. Eat fatty fish 2 times a week, with each portion about the size of your palm, which is roughly 3 to 4 ounces. Choose baked, grilled, or tinned in water. Never deep fried, because frying undoes the benefit. Tinned sardines and mackerel count fully and cost very little, so this is not an expensive habit. The error people make is buying breaded fried fish fillets and assuming they qualify. They do not. Keep it simple and unfried. Senior safe note. If you take a blood thinner, high doses of fish oil can add to that effect, so get your omega-3s from food rather than high-dose capsules, and talk to your doctor before starting any supplement. If chewing bones in sardines worries you, mash them well or choose boneless fillets. If fish ever causes stomach upset, stop and try a smaller portion next time. Pair your fish with a leafy green salad, because the healthy fats help your body absorb the protective nutrients in the greens. Fish and greens belong on the same plate. Fatty fish resurfaces the channel walls beautifully, but it does not do much to protect those walls from the daily damage that keeps roughening them in the first place. To shield the vessels while they heal, we need the next food. Which brings us to number 3. Number 3 is berries, especially blueberries, blackberries, and dark cherries. Here is why they matter. The deep color in these berries comes from compounds called flavonoids, and flavonoids act like a protective coating for your blood vessels. Return to the river one more time. Every day, the current carries grit that scratches and wears the channel lining. Flavonoids are like a protective sealant painted on the walls, guarding them against that daily wear and helping them stay flexible. Protected walls stay smoother longer, and smoother walls keep blood moving down into your legs. Large studies of eating patterns have consistently connected berry-rich diets with better blood vessel function. This is steady, well-supported evidence built over many years. Now the protocol with numbers. Aim for 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup of berries, most days of the week. Fresh is wonderful in season, but frozen berries work just as well and often cost less, so buy the big frozen bag. Add them to oatmeal in the morning, or eat them as an evening snack. The mistake people make is drowning berries in sugar or syrup, which cancels the benefit. Keep them plain or with a spoon of plain yogurt. Start with a 1/2 cup daily and make it a habit before you worry about more. Senior safe modification. Berries are gentle for almost everyone. If you have diabetes, they are a smart fruit choice, but still keep to that 1/2 cup and pair them with a little protein to steady your blood sugar. If you take certain blood thinners and eat very large amounts of dark berries, mention it to your doctor just to be safe. If any new food upsets your stomach, cut the portion and go slower. Pair berries with a small handful of walnuts because the healthy fats in the nuts and the flavonoids in the berries protect your vessels from two different angles at once. Berries shield the channel walls from damage, but protection alone does not clear the sluggishness that builds up when flow has been poor for a long time. For that, we need a food that actively thins and moves the current along, which brings us to number 2. Number 2 is garlic, plain, real garlic. Here is the mechanism. Garlic contains a compound released when you crush it that helps blood flow more smoothly and keeps it from growing too sticky and slow. In river terms, imagine the water has become thick and thick water crawls. Garlic is like a gentle agent that thins the current back to a healthy flow, so it moves freely through even the smaller channels in your feet and toes. Freer flowing blood reaches the places poor circulation abandons first. Large clinical trials have consistently shown that garlic can support healthier blood flow and gentler blood pressure. This is well documented, not folklore. Here is your protocol. Aim for 1 to 2 fresh cloves of garlic per day. Here is the key detail most people miss. Crush or chop the clove and let it sit for about 10 minutes before cooking, because that resting time activates the beneficial compound. Add it near the end of cooking rather than burning it early, since high heat for a long time destroys the benefit. If raw garlic is too strong, fold the chopped clove into food. 1 to 2 cloves, not 1 to 2 whole bulbs. More is not better here. Senior safe note: this one matters. If you take a blood thinner such as warfarin, or you have surgery coming up, garlic can add to the thinning effect, so talk to your doctor before making it a daily habit. If garlic causes heartburn, take it with food and reduce the amount. Burning discomfort is your signal to ease back, not push through. Pair garlic with olive oil because gently warming crushed garlic in good olive oil combines 2 circulation-friendly foods into one simple base for your vegetables. Garlic thins and moves the current beautifully. But there is one food that does something none of these 4 can. It works on the pressure and the vessel lining at the deepest level, all day long from the inside. And that is number 1. Stay with me. Number 1, the crown of this list is extra virgin olive oil. The real thing, cold pressed, the kind with a peppery bite at the back of your throat. Here is why it earns the top spot. Extra virgin olive oil does not do just one job for your circulation. It does several at once, which is why it stands above everything else. It is rich in healthy fats that keep your vessel walls flexible. It carries powerful protective compounds called polyphenols that calm the inflammation which stiffens those walls over the years. And it gently supports the same nitric oxide signal that keeps your channels open and relaxed. Return to our river one final time. Beetroot opened the gates. Fish resurfaced the lining. Berries sealed the walls. Garlic thinned the water. Extra virgin olive oil is the master engineer who quietly maintains the entire system every single day, keeping the channels flexible, the linings calm, and the current smooth from the reservoir all the way to the smallest streams in your toes. It is not a quick fix. It is daily, foundational care for the whole delivery network. That is the deepest mechanism on this list, and it is why almost nobody connects a bottle of oil with the feeling in their legs. The evidence here is about as strong as nutrition evidence gets. Large, long-running clinical trials of Mediterranean eating patterns built around extra virgin olive oil have consistently shown better blood vessel health and better circulation. This is a genuine cornerstone of the science. Now here is your protocol, in detail. Aim for 2 to 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil per day, used in place of butter or other cooking fats, not added on top of them. Use it raw where you can, drizzled over cooked vegetables, stirred into soup at the table, or as the base of a simple dressing, because heating it very hot reduces the delicate protective compounds. Look for the words extra virgin and cold pressed on the label, and choose a dark bottle, since light damages the oil. Here's the mistake almost everyone makes. They buy light or pure olive oil, thinking light means healthier, when in fact those are more processed and carry far fewer of the protective polyphenols. Extra virgin is the one you want. And measure with a spoon, because 2 to 3 tablespoons is the target, not a free pour that becomes half a cup. Now, the senior safe modification, and this matters. Olive oil is calorie dense, so you are replacing other fats with it, not stacking it on top to avoid unwanted weight gain. If you have gallbladder trouble, introduce it slowly and in smaller amounts and see how you feel. Start with 1 tablespoon a day for the first week, then build up so your digestion adjusts gently. If a larger amount ever leaves your stomach loose or unsettled, that is your stop signal. Simply drop back to the smaller amount. And if you take blood pressure or blood sugar medication, olive oil can support both in a good direction. So mention this new daily habit to your doctor so they can keep an eye on your numbers. Pair extra virgin olive oil with your vegetables and your leafy greens because the healthy fat dramatically increases how many protective, circulation-friendly nutrients your body actually absorbs from those plants. Oil and vegetables together are far more than the sum of their parts. So there it is. The one food almost nobody talks about in connection with heavy legs is the humble bottle of olive oil sitting in your kitchen right now. Not exotic, not expensive, not a powder from an advertisement. Used correctly, every single day, it quietly maintains the entire river system that carries life down to your legs and feet. That is the insight most appointments never reach. And it is why this one food, more than any other on the list, can change how you walk, stand, and stay independent over the next 10 years. Consider a typical case documented in the rehabilitation literature. A 74-year-old woman who had struggled for 2 years with heavy, aching legs that grew worse every afternoon. She had been told simply to walk more, but walking had become the very thing she dreaded because her legs felt like lead by evening. She was beginning to avoid the stairs in her own home. Working with guidance, she made small, steady changes. She added beetroot a few times a week and fatty fish twice a week. She kept berries on her morning oats and let crushed garlic rest before cooking. Most of all, she switched her cooking fat to 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil each day and drizzled it over her vegetables. The change did not come overnight, but within about 8 weeks, she reported that the heavy, dragging feeling in her legs had eased noticeably. She was climbing her stairs again without stopping halfway. She described it simply as getting her evenings back. That is what better circulation can restore. So let me give you your action matrix. Simple, concrete steps, starting now. Tonight, drizzle 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil over your dinner vegetables instead of butter. This week, buy 1 bag of frozen berries and eat a half cup on at least 4 mornings. Also, this week, put fatty fish on your plate 2 times, each about the size of your palm. Starting this week, crush 1 clove of garlic, let it rest 10 minutes, and add it to your cooking most days. And within the next few days, try 1 small serving of beetroot, 3 to 4 times a week, building up slowly. Balance is not luck. Circulation is not genetics. Blood flow is trained, 1 plate at a time. Now think of someone in your life who comes home and props their heavy legs up every evening. A parent, a partner, a friend. Share this with them because the foods in their own kitchen might be exactly what they need. Tell me in the comments which of these 5 foods you are starting tonight. Your answers decide exactly what I cover next. And if you want more of the science a rushed appointment never has time for, subscribe to this channel because that is the whole reason it exists, to help you stay strong and independent. This video is education, not a diagnosis. Your own doctor knows your history, so bring this list to your next appointment. I'm Laura Bennett. Don't forget to subscribe and live longer.